Hello guys, in today's video I'm gonna show you how to build a working treehouse with things like retractable ladders, zip lines, telescopes and much more. But before we get into it, let's all just take a moment to admire my new absolutely sick intro. It was actually made for me by another student from my university. The guy who made it is called Daniel Poschinger and he's an extremely talented 3D artist. If you want to see more from him, he actually has an Instagram account where he posts all of his work. So if you like banana squids, walking twinnies or other 3D creations, then give him a follow and show him some love. His Instagram account will be linked in the description. But now let's build a treehouse, shall we? In the description you will find two commands which you can use to create this one command machine. A lot of you guys are always complaining that I'm using resource packs for everything, so this creation is for you because you don't actually need a resource pack. You can click the give item sign and you will get some spawn eggs, which are just some functional items that you can use to improve your treehouse. For now I'm gonna put them away though and start off by growing a jungle tree because it's tall and it allows me to build a good treehouse. So I'm just gonna grab some saplings, place them on the dirt and then use bone meal to speed up the process because I'm lazy like that. And now that we have a beautiful tree, I'm gonna build a platform, which is gonna be my house. I'm not building a house because I can't build. I'm gonna keep it simple for this video, but I am gonna make the platform beautiful by adding stairs to the sides. Then I'm gonna add some pillars to the corners and connect the pillars with some fences. I'm actually using different wood types just to give the build more contrast and make it look more interesting and not too boring. Once that's done, I'm gonna add some more stairs on the top. I know, so far it doesn't really look like a house, but I'm a terrible builder. I'm trying my best here. So I'm gonna just add some decoration by placing some buttons on the corners and finally adding some cobblestone walls on the corners as well, which is where I'm later gonna place some lamps. So for the roof, that's pretty much it. And next up, I'm gonna make a way to actually get up to the treehouse. I'm gonna punch a hole, so here's where the ladder's gonna go. So let me just grab a spawn egg. There we go. And wherever you are facing, you will place a ladder facing in that direction. And the button will also spawn. And if you press it, the ladder will actually drop down. And if you press it again, it will come back up. You can repeat this as many times as you want. It works very reliably. And it just allows you to keep enemies or friends away if you want some alone time up here. It works in all of the 4 directions. You just have to look into the direction you want to place the ladder in. If you look diagonally, it doesn't work. As you can see, just right click the spawn egg and it works. You can also spam all the buttons at once. It's very hard to break the system. You can spam as much as you want and even retract the ladder while it's mid animation. And to remove the ladders and the armor stands, just break the block that the ladder is sitting on. So I'm just gonna drop the ladder down because it looks pretty cool that it's not attached to a block. Then I'm also gonna fill in the roof. I actually didn't want to do it until the end because it allows me to fly into the room easily if I want to change stuff. But I mean, I have a macro for toggling spectator and creative mode, so it's not a big deal. Then I'm also gonna add a little balcony sort of thing just to give it a nice little touch and make it look more interesting. And then I'm gonna prepare the actual zipline station. So this is where you're gonna depart. And then I'm going to grow another jungle tree, build another platform there. And this is where you're going to arrive after you use the zipline. Just right click to create it and it will automatically be generated until it collides with a block. So make sure it actually collides with a block, otherwise it's gonna go till infinity and, I don't know, break the game. So just right click the green particles to use it and you will travel to the other side pretty quickly. It's actually really satisfying to use, I don't know what it is, but I really like the zipline system. You can even attach it to yet another tree. It works in all of the 4 directions. And I imagine that you can do some pretty freaking cool stuff with that. Just imagine a whole colony of tree houses and having them all connected with zip lines. Like, if someone watching this is actually talented at building, please build some sort of epic jungle treehouse zipline city thing. One floor was not enough for me, so I decided to add another one. I kept the style very similar to the bottom floor, and after that I decided to add another cool ladder. I don't know what it is, but for some reason I just find it really satisfying how it can drop down and how you can make it go up again if you are up there. Because then you have some private time up there if you don't want anyone disturbing you. But there's a problem. What if it turns nighttime? Well, normal torches would be way too boring, so I added a wireless redstone lamp system. Just right-click the light switch spawn egg to spawn a light switch, and the redstone lamp spawn egg to spawn in a redstone lamp. Whenever you flick the lever, all the redstone lamps, I think it's a 20 block, yeah, I think in a 20 block radius, will actually light up. But it also means that you can't actually place another lever in a 20 block radius of the other lever, because that would mean that they would interfere with each other. All in all, I really love the system because it's so clean. There are no ugly wires laying around, no redstone blocks, buttons, anything. It's just super pretty. And you might actually be wondering why these lamps don't light up. Well, it's because they are outside of the 20 block radius. Solution? Well, we just place the lever somewhere else. To destroy it, you have to drop a piece of TNT on it. And then you can just place it a bit higher, and if you now flick the lever again, the lamps up there should be on. Yeah, they are. So now that the important lights are all placed, I'm still adding some more just for decorational purposes. They are not really needed, but they just add a bit more detail and make the build look more interesting. In a tiny treehouse you might not have enough space for all the different blocks you need, so I added this multifunctional block. Whenever you press the button, you can switch the block type, and you pretty much have 5 blocks in one, which is pretty cool and saves a lot of space. This works with as many of these blocks as you want, even if they're close to each other. I'm gonna place another one up here, and just make sure that there is a place for the button behind. If you forget, it's not a big deal, you can still add the button later and it works. It also works on each of the 4 sides, so you can remove the button again, place it somewhere else, and it will still work, as you can see. After you have built an amazing treehouse, you might want to just enjoy the view from up there. So I made a telescope, and whenever you go near it and sneak, you will actually get a zoomed in view of where you're looking at. I know it's not that amazing. I actually wanted to use resource packs to make this a bit more cooler, but then I was like, I'm not gonna destroy the whole non-resource pack aspect of this creation just to make this one aspect cooler. It works in all of the 4 directions, and by that I mean that the telescope will face into the direction that you looked in when you placed it. To destroy the different items, you can just drop a piece of TNT on them. It works with the zipline too. Just make sure that you also destroy the counterpart of each of the zipline stations. Otherwise you might encounter bugs that you do not want to encounter. So just remove both of the parts. And that pretty much sums up today's video and creation. I'd be really curious if you guys can come up with a better design than my crappy one. So if you decide to use those tools to create a cool treehouse, then send me a screenshot via Twitter and I'll take a look at it. And that's about it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.